Hello, whatever your name is. Thank you for coming to my office hours. I, Dr. Moo Moo, am incredibly busy being a professor of forensic science and, well, being a cat. But I am always willing to extend a helping hand to a student in need. Or paw, I guess. What brings you in today? You had a question. What question did you have to ask me? What is a polarizer and analyzer, and what are the differences between them? Well, it's quite simple. The polarizer and analyzer are simply just polarized light filters, only allowing light to enter through one way. While they are both physically the same thing, the main differences between them come in what they are used for, the way they are directioned, and where they are on a microscope. Just so you know, I'm going to make some images appear out of thin air so that I may better explain this topic to you. The polarizer is used to, polarize the light, which means to make the light travel in a single direction through the sample. The polarizer typically allows light vibrating left to right to enter and is located on top of the light source but below the stage on a microscope. The analyzer is oriented opposite the direction of the polarizer and is used to examine how the light behaves once it has traveled through the sample. The analyzer typically allows light vibrating up and down to enter and is located above the sample, usually right above the revolving nose piece. Well, why is this important? Well, the analyzer and polarizer are important as they allow you to determine if a sample is isotropic or anisotropic. And if it is anisotropic, it can help to determine the birefringence of the material. I'm a horrible professor and you have no idea what I just said? Okay, well, thankfully I have some test subjects that can provide the perfect example for you to understand. This specimen represents what light is like normally. Very chaotic, kind of doing whatever this subject is doing, not orderly. We want light to be orderly so that we can use it to determine certain properties of a material. To do this, we must force the light in a single direction by use of a polarizer. In this example, the subjects went through the polarizer without any issue and are now considered polarized light. Now that they are polarized, they are ready to go through the analyzer, which is oriented 90 degrees away from the polarizer. If the sample they went through is anisotropic, they will be expected to be able to come through. But as sadly seen, they went through an isotropic material, and so they are not shaped in a way that they can come through. I am very sorry that I had to force you into the vertical realm for a little bit, but unfortunately my human assistant accidentally recorded these subjects in the wrong orientation. So, while incredibly useful, there are some limitations in the use of an analyzer and polarizer in the analysis of a sample, or known as cross-polarization analysis. It is incredibly useful to know if a sample is isotropic or anisotropic and to calculate its birefringence. But an issue can arise because people interpret colors differently, and so there can be a variety of answers that can be obtained when calculating birefringence of a sample. This can cause issues of inconsistency in a single sample, which can devalue the analysis of that sample overall. That is about as well as I can explain the concept of a polarizer and an analyzer. If you still have no idea what I'm talking about, then either I'm a bad teacher or you might just be stupid, but I think we know which one's true. If you have any more questions on this topic, ask Professor Burmeister, as he is your last hope. You had another question? Well, what is it? Why is my lip orange? Well, it's a long story, but essentially, while my beautiful owner Ava and her boyfriend looked away from me for 0.5 seconds, I managed to get an entire bite full of movie popcorn and butter inside of my mouth, which dyed my lips orange. It was not good. I would not recommend doing that. Well, if that's it, feel free to ask me any more questions. Unless it's about this topic, in which case I already answered them, so don't ask me again. Bye-bye.